Hello everyone, and welcome to Spy Squadron episode 11!
11!
Let's go. And what an episode it is, because technically we have 11 things to talk about. We got 10 spoiler cards.
A lot of spoilers this week.
Wowee! And then we got a bit of info to talk about OP. Not a lot, but we do have some stuff to cover off. But honestly, we're probably going to be stretched for time, so we're going to dive into this because all of these cards are good cards.
Yeah, we have lots to talk about with pretty much all of these cards, so strap in.
So
check them out with us.
Yeah, in case you weren't in the loop, TwitchCon happened over the weekend. And
so we got like 3 spoilers from that, and then 4 spoilers
5
from that.
5 spoilers from that. We got 5 spoilers from TwitchCon.
Then we got
our weekly red. We got a community spoiler, and then 2 from the stream. So Xander and Tyler, I believe it's Tyler, the game designer, were at TwitchCon. Looks like they had a lot of fun. They played some games. There was an awesome mat. Did you see that?
Yep.
It was a really cool promo mat you could get.
It was the maximum firepower
artwork. It's really awesome. But we're going to dive into this because there are some awesome cards and some awesome characters. And really,
we got our little streets in it with us here to show the cards.
Remember the cards.
Because there's more than we're used to remembering. So we're going to start it off with something that you saw on the last week's gameplay video. If you check that out. And
Double the pride, twice the fall. It's Count Dooku.
Here he is in all his glory.
And
our
he is glorious.
Clone Wars character.
What a good choice.
Yeah.
Because we're going to get Palpatine in this set as the Emperor. What a good choice to pick Dooku.
Yeah, I agree.
He's one of our only other blue villain cards. And he is our first shielded unit. So he's a 7-cost Vigilance villain, 5/4 Force Separatist Sith. With shielded, and when played, you defeat a unit with 4 or less remaining HP. So, shielded, firstly, for those who might not know, because it's the first card we've seen, it enters with a shield.
Yeah, so you play it,
shield,
slap the shield on.
James, takedown's really good.
Takedown's real good.
Can I have takedown on a 5/4 with shielded?
Yeah, all right, sure, no worries.
And can I have it be one of the best characters in Star Wars?
Yeah, but just make sure it's 7 cost.
Oh, okay, that's fine with me.
No, but this is a very cool card. Having played it last week, it feels good to play, and I know
it feels bad to play against.
It might a lot of you might look at the 5/4 stat line and kind of scoff at it, but it just getting a shield on arrival means that it becomes a lot harder to remove unless you're using something like Takedown or Vanquish or Waylay. And even Waylay against him is not particularly great.
He just comes back.
Because
he kills something again.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, right? Because if someone takedowns my Dooku over another card that they could have taken down, I feel fine about that. And if they can't take it down, they have to swing at him twice or they have to open fire him. Dooku is a resource sink. Like, you play him and he kills something, and then to get rid of him, you either have to 2-for-1 a lot of the time or use a takedown. So essentially, Dooku is just using one of the best removal cards in the game, and also is one of the best removal cards in the game. So he's just, I think it really fits with that character. Like, literally double the pride, twice the fall. You know, you go to attack him and he blocks you, and then, you know, he cuts off your arm because you're just a little weak Padawan.
No, but actually, like, in a deck where I'm running, like when I was playing the Blue Tarkin last week, where I'm running Vanquish, Takedown, and Dooku. Obviously we played more games than we post up, and there was definitely a game that we played afterwards that Reese just felt like everything was getting he was like, oh, you drew so much of your removal, and I was like, I just have all that, I still got 4 things left in my deck that I didn't draw.
It was definitely rough because it was like early game I was getting takedown, mid game I was getting Vanquish, and late game I was getting Duke. At that point, he's a 5/4 and he's there. Man, is it hard to get rid of. And when you expend that resource, if you're at that point where you're so behind and Dooku drops, you have to kill him because he's 5 damage.
Yeah.
If you just let him go, he'll kill you. Mm-hmm. And if you take down him, you're takedowning a target where realistically there's a board full of other takedown targets, and you're like, I don't want to, but I have to, and you do it, and then your opponent's like, okay.
Yeah, it's the only downside to like that takedown vanquish kind of thing is you're only ever going to get rid of one target. So once you start to see your opponent going kind of wider than you want them to, it's like, well, I have one removal, which
But even
that's a really
overwhelming
big
barrage.
choice. Yeah,
Yeah, you can only, if you hit Dooku, pings his shield off.
yeah.
Then you have to hit him again. Like, shielded is really good, and I'm
Yes.
excited to see more, but I think really good character, really great card, awesome to see. He's a rare, so he's not a legendary, which is sweet. I don't think we got any legendaries here. No, we didn't. Cool.
Speaking of rares,
Oh my god.
another fantastic drop from the TwitchCon. We have Bosk.
He's actually uncommon.
He's actually uncommon.
And
I thought he was rare.
he feels rare.
He feels legendary.
Tell me what he does.
Oh boy. So he is a 5-cost cunning villain unit with a 5/4 stat line. Quite a nice stat line. If
He's
I
an
say so
underworld
myself.
bounty hunter.
Underworld bounty hunter. He has ambush, which we know we love. We love ambush.
Awesome.
And when you play an event, any event,
Just any event.
any event,
Any event.
doesn't need to be a cunning event.
You want to play Asteroid Sanctuary? Dope.
Deal 2 damage to any unit.
Oh my god. You can
I thought it was ground unit for a second there.
No,
It's
any
just
unit.
anyone. It's any
shoot
of them.
first, give it to Bosk, swing at something, deal 2 damage.
Surprise strike, Bosk. Deals 7 damage to base, ping 2 damage to something.
Do you, James, open fire deals 5 damage, right? When you've got Bosk out, it does. Open fire,
6
ping
damage
for 2,
even.
3 for... Oh my god, 6 with 4! Wow.
Bosk is a card that needs to get removed.
Bosk is yellow's Krennic.
We've talked about cards that need to be removed before. Bosk is a card that you are saving your removal for.
You cannot let him live.
If
you
you let- yeah.
your board's gone because your opponent, like, there's another card we'll talk about later, which is amazing. Your opponent could just play that card and get so much value from just having Bosk on the board.
Yeah.
Not to mention, he's probably killing something when he comes in, and if you're playing the Boba Fett leader, which he synergizes really well with,
Yep.
guess what? You're about to untap some resources because of that.
And he comes in at 5, which is when Boba deploys. So you bring him, ambush, kill something,
Swing,
untap
untap
one,
flip, swing with Boba, untap 2, then you've got access to your waylays, your open fires, your force chokes,
your mission brief.
your there's a cheeky spoiler for you. Wow. Much requested. I nearly forgot. Much requested, and I will try my best to keep consistent at this time. Count Dooku. I'm giving him a 4 out of 5 on the Spiceometer. It's back. Bosk. I am giving Bosk a 5 out of 5 on the Spiceometer. I actually think this card does it all at such an aggressive cost that I can't put it lower than a 5.
5 cost.
Oh, look,
5
five.
health.
5 out of 5. Honestly, if I'm like, I have never ever. I've tested with Bosk a bit. I'm sure you've tested with Bosk a bit. I've tested against Bosk a bit. And I have to say, there has never been a point where Bosk has come down. And if I'm playing it, I'm feeling good. And if my opponent, if I'm playing against it, man, I need to get that gone.
Yeah.
Like, especially in a Boba Fett deck where 3 cost Boba, he needs to be removed right away. Boba Leader, he needs to be removed right away. Bosk, he needs to be removed right away.
Yeah.
You have, like, that deck just has already so many heavy hitters. Man, it is good. All in all, a great card. Moving on with the 5 costs.
Moving on with the 5
Rolling,
costs.
rolling. Another really big character, another really big name. Excuse me.
Wedge Antilles.
Wedge Antilles.
He's here. We thought he might be a leader in the first set, but it's not looking like that's going to happen.
Not going to happen.
But we do have a pretty good card for
Card's
him.
great. Another 5 cost. He is a command hero. My favorite colors, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. My favorite color combination. He's a 5/5, so pretty good stat line.
Very
5/5
good
for
stat
5. And wowee, each friendly vehicle unit gets +1/+1 in ambush. We know that giving +1/+1 to units is great. Hello Vias, hello Dodonna. We know giving units ambush is great. Hello Piet, hello base. Why not both? Why not just give all of your space units ambush? Why not give all of your ground vehicles ambush. Like, we don't have many ground vehicles yet, but I'm sure the ones we see will work so well with this leader. And I mean, like, it's great to see cards like this, because they did mention when we saw Prepare for Takeoff, hey, you can build your own deck, and this just synergizes with it so well.
Yeah, every single vehicle. I would love to see some more ground vehicles coming out.
So would I.
Currently we only have the
land speeders, and give us some scouter bikes and some walkers.
But this is fantastic. This is a must play in any vehicle deck.
If you're playing command vehicles and you're hero, you're running this card. I can honestly see a pretty strong end. Like, I played Blue Space Race Layer on the podcast earlier. I haven't played it in a while, but man, when this came out, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I think Leia is the obvious deck that he goes in.
Yeah, for right now.
I think there's definitely going to be some.
I hope we see some more. Like, I hope we do see a vehicle-centric leader. That'd be really interesting. But I'm sure in the future we'll see one. But
definitely,
like, Leia works great. Wedge is a rebel.
Yes.
So you can tap Wedge to swing with a unit, to swing with another unit. My favorite interaction with Wedge is the Millennium Falcon. Because you can Millennium Falcon in, gains ambush, you can swing with it, and then you can ready it from its ability.
Interesting.
Very powerful.
Yeah, so that green, yellow Han is going to be
green, yellow Han's
real
going to be
juicy.
Because you can get to Wedge really quickly with Han's ability.
Yeah.
You can get him out as early as, I think it's turn 3. You can drop that, and that's good.
Well, I don't know. Maybe if you're my only hopes. You can get it out turn 1.
Curse you, James!
If you're just lucky.
Surely we see a couple of cards that let you rearrange your deck.
But honestly, that is something that, like, I have played around with the deck that runs You're My Only Hope, and there's a lot of variance to it. But there's something to say about Wedge coming down turn 1 would actually be extremely strong.
I would genuinely hate to come up against a 5/5 for 5 turn 1, because my takedown is 2 turns away. My open fire can't kill it. If I'm playing villain, my only option is Force Choke, and a Han deck goes, I get to draw a card.
Han deck loves drawing cards.
I loves it. But all in all, awesome card. I would give Wedge probably a 3.5 out of 5 on the Spy Summoner. I love it. I love Anthem effects. I love Ambush. He buffs vehicles, so why not talk about one?
Yes, absolutely. Bright Hope, another one that was spoiled from the Twitch.
Is that the best color combination?
It is a 4-cost command hero.
Yeah, it is.
This one is a 2/6, which is a really interesting stat line for... Yeah, like... it's
got a big booty.
Got a big booty, and that makes sense because it is a Sentinel. It does have that Sentinel keyword on it, stopping anything from attacking your base in that same lane. But it is not all it has. It also has, when played, you may bounce a friendly card.
Friendly non-leader ground unit to your hand. And if you do, draw a card.
Yeah, absolutely. We've kind of seen how effective bouncing your own cards can be with Millennium Falcon, how you can kind of swing into something, then bounce it back to your hand.
Refresh its health.
This is definitely something where if you have something that is damaged and you can definitely play this, grab it back to your hand, and then draw an additional card, and it really helps fill up that hand.
I like Bright Hope because it's great with Wedge. It's a Sentinel that can remove a body, come down, and with Wedge, it's a 3/7. This is actually our second innate Space Sentinel. We technically have 3 Space Sentinels with the Star Destroyer, but that gives Sentinel for the turn. The other one is the 4-cost blue, slips my mind, System Patrolcraft. Bright Hope. Akbar. Play Akbar, ping you for damage. Bright Hope, bounce back to my hand, draw a card, I can play him again and get his when played. Fleet Lieutenant.
Yep.
Play Fleet Lieutenant, swing for 2, swing with Fleet Lieutenant, Bright Hope, bounce back to my hand, draw a card. Get to play my Fleet Lieutenant again. Next turn I can play it, swing with my Bright Hope, give it +2/+0. Bouncing your units and drawing a card from them, +1ing from them, is ridiculous.
Okay, let's... we're going to take it back now for a second to a previous game that we played. Played Dragon Ball for a long time. There was one card that got banned. Why did it get banned? What did it do?
It let you bounce cards to your hand and draw cards.
That's exactly what it did. Now, this is on a little bit of a larger, more expensive, which it should be. But that mechanic is huge and that's not even on a game that had cumulative damage.
Yeah, that was on a very different game, but seeing that exist is good. This shouldn't like, we're not saying Bright Hope's going to get banned.
Oh, no.
We're not saying it's super powerful or anything. We're not fearmonger. We're just saying that that's a good effect.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a good effect to look out for. It works differently in this game because of a few factors, but all in all, this card's great. I mean, I love drawing cards. Everyone should. It's needed for any game. Yeah, you draw 2, but why not draw more and have more options and have more resources? And that's exactly what Bright Hope does. On a 2/6 body, there have been games where I'm just like, I struggle to find room for space units. And I want to find a way to stall space out a little bit. This is it, and it gives me ground options.
Yeah, honestly, a space unit with Sentinel that can take a hit from Fet's Fire Spray is huge to me.
Yeah,
like it can take a hit and it's living on 1, but it's still living. It still has that Sentinel.
That means Fet's Fire Spray, worst case, has to swing into it again.
Yeah.
Best case, it's one of those things where it's on 1, but like unless they play another ship to kill it, in which case it's probably trading, or they swing into it again with Fet's Fire Spray, or they have to use removal against it. Like, that doesn't feel bad for me. That feels great.
Yeah,
that's exactly what Bright Hope wants.
They swing into Bright Hope, then brings it down to open fire range.
But then they open fire it, and I'm like...
I meant the Fet's Fire Spray down to open fire
exactly,
range.
Yes, yeah, sorry, yeah, it does. It's a Rebel too, notably. It's a unique Rebel ship, so awesome stuff. All in all, 3 out of 5. Spassometer. I think this is a good card. I love drawing cards. This one we'd seen a picture of. This next one we'd seen kind of like a
blurry
really
kind of picture of.
You're very excited for this one.
I do very much like this card. I did kind of, when I built that blue green Tarkin deck, I did build it with this in mind. The card didn't come out until we'd already finished that gameplay, so I didn't get to play it. But this is a really interesting card that I really like. It is 97th Legion. It is a 7-cost command neutral unit. Its stat line is 0/0.
But,
what? Crazy. But its ability is this unit gains +1/+1 for each resource you control.
Wow.
So at minimum, you're paying 7 for this,
and you're getting a 7/7.
Getting a 7/7. Next turn, you play another resource. It becomes an 8/8. It is a card that will
just keeps getting bigger,
growing. If without you doing anything, not like Tarkin, we have to pay. Well, if you run it in Tarkin, you could pay one, give it,
make buff it again. Like, it has really relevant keywords too. It's an Imperial Trooper. We'll talk about why Trooper is relevant in a second because it's very relevant. It's an Imperial. It's a Trooper. Han likes this card. Tarkin loves this card.
Tarkin absolutely loves this card.
You're playing mono, play this card and challenge your opponent. You've gone tall. I'm gonna go taller.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's simple and effective. And as we've said this a lot of those really good cards that you want to look out for don't have flashy effects. They don't need to because what they do is just so good. It only takes up a few words.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you've ramped a little bit, you're a little bit ahead of the curve. Dropping this when your opponent has 6 or even 5 resources.
Brutal.
It's going to be very hard to get rid of.
Mono green Tarkin ramp. You can 97th Legion them, and then 2 turns later, Relentless. Get out of that.
Yeah.
Get out of that. Deal with that. You've got to deal with a 9/9 in space, and at that point, a 9/9 on the ground.
Yeah.
How do you, what am I meant to do? The Imperial firepower is just too good. And then, just speaking of that, play this for 7. Your opponent's gone wide on the board. It's looking bad. Let's say you play this man, then you pass. They've gone super wide. You draw your cards for turn. What's this card? 5. It's an event. It's a green villain. Overwhelming barrage. You resource, make him an 8/8. Overwhelming barrage to 10. Hit your opponent's board, clear it off the battlefield, swing for a third of your opponent's base or more if they're running a 25 health base. This is a good card.
Yeah, and this is a card that takes aggro. I find I like putting in maybe a red-green Tarkin deck that you could be seeing
What's this?
in the gameplay soon. But I like it because it is an assurance that it will have a bomb to drop late game. It is even if I'm like, a lot of time I'm not going to be looking at this, but if it turns into that grinding matchup, being able to drop this at 7, 8, even 9 resources and just having a bomb of a unit.
Yeah, if you're playing against like a grindy control deck that's removing all your small units, play a big one. Yeah. Like you like a lot of the time, Overwhelming Barrage gets a lot of its value because you're pumping a 4 power unit to a 6 and you're killing maybe like 2 to 3 things. I can't kill that.
No.
Honestly, I think this is a solid piece. I think if you get it in draft, it's really good. I actually definitely think if you see this card in draft and you're playing command, pick it.
Yeah,
in draft, there's probably not going to be a lot they can do against it.
Yeah, I think definitely in draft that's going to be huge because people aren't going to have those Vanquishers.
If they do, Vanquish is going to be so much more valuable that if they use it on this and then you follow it up with like a Palpatine, they've just gone, I've just wasted it. Like, pick this card. Like, if you're playing green in your draft, make sure you keep an eye out for 97th Legion. One quick thing about this card as well is really cool. They are from a book. They're not from a TV show, not from a movie or a game, from a book. So they did briefly confirm that they're going to just work with whatever canon they have, which includes books and comics and stuff. So we can see some Aphra and things like that in the future. Would be really cool.
Which would be really cool, yeah.
Moving on. 3 out of 5. This is really solid middle lane card. 3 out of 5 on Spysometer. Moving on to just another simple yet effective card. It's what month is it?
Aggression.
Which means that we get to vote on cards. We voted for event, which means next week, very excitedly, we get to see a red upgrade, which I know that I think both of us, James very much so, has been excited to see what a red upgrade looks like.
I've said upgrade every time.
Give us a gun.
I just say gun.
Yeah, he types gun. I think FFG gets real
Don't be silly, we're Australian.
Yeah, we don't have those. This week was a event. It's mission briefing. 3 cost, aggression, neutral. Choose a player. They draw 2 cards.
Yeah, the mill is on.
Yeah,
mill
I pick my opponent. Draw 2. Can't even do it with a straight face. Genuinely though, I mean, sure, if a Mill deck ever comes up for you Mill fans out there, this could be a piece you run. You red blue Luke Mill. But in reality, they talked about it. Red's like, draw cards. I want draw cards now. This is awesome.
This is draw cards now, and
I love this.
If you've played yellow red Boba, or you've played yellow red Han,
or red green Tarkin with some low cost boys.
Tarkin not so much, but the first 2 run out of cards in hand very quickly.
If you were paying attention to the red yellow Han gameplay we had, you'll notice that I either didn't have cards or had very little cards.
Yeah,
this is awesome. You can turn 1 this with Han.
It'd certainly be an interesting play to turn 1 this with Han because it.
If you're like running low on your options and things like that, you can turn 1 it with Han to kind of cycle your hand out. If you turn 2 it with Han, you just start getting ahead with your card advantage and things like that. So it's good. I think we know card draw's good. In a lot of other games, you see cards like this. Like Magic has a 3 cost for 2, 3 cost draw 2. Digimon has a 3 cost draw 2. Dragon Ball had 3 cost draw 2, like events. One Piece has a 3 cost draw 2 event. A lot of the times, those cards have just been really good. Like when they've been in standard for Magic, when they've been in rotation for like Digimon and no One Piece. That card is like really meta relevant in blue decks. So just 3 cost draw 2 is great because you just get yourself more options. Yeah. Use it with Bosk. Draw 2 and kill something small or ping 2 damage. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know there's been a lot of talk we've talked about it before, little talk about how card draw isn't particularly relevant for this game in particular compared to some other games. But this is a card that for decks that are lower to the ground, that
more
are
aggressive, more speedy.
yeah, that are because you've played them, they do run out of cards in hand, and when they do, maybe you win when you top deck, but maybe sometimes
Why
you don't.
take that chance?
Yeah.
Why take that chance when you can slot out this card that's not been working in your mono red aggravator, put 3 mission briefing in, and suddenly you're being like, cool, turn 5. Well, I don't really have a play, so I'm going to probe droid mission briefing. Whoa, there's my lightsabers for next turn.
Or mission briefing into a play for that turn that you
exactly.
didn't have
like
before.
you might find yourself being like, okay, well, I don't have anything that's like hitting the curve of 5, so I'm going to mission briefing. Oh, boom, Viper probe droid. Oh my, like there's my snowtrooper, first Legion snowtrooper. Like, options are good. I know a lot of people are like, you don't need card draw in this game. I personally disagree because I think that it's not necessary. You don't have to build a deck and include mission briefing every time.
It's not one of those cases where it's like, oh, I'm building a deck. Well, how many cards draw?
How
I need to
many
make sure I have the
mission
right
briefings do I
number
have
of
to- yeah.
cards draw.
This game isn't that game.
No.
But this game is definitely a game where you're like, red, 2 slots left, mission briefing, like genuinely mission briefing. Like it should be a last resort, and it should definitely be one of the first red cards you go to and go, do I run this? I might test it at this number and see how it goes. I think it's sitting pretty at 2 in most of my decks that run red, and I have to say, never has it disappointed me.
Yeah, I even run it at 3 for a lot of the more
I run it
aggro
at 3 in
cards.
Boba. I think it's ridiculous.
I have it running at 3 with Boba. Yeah.
So good with Bosk. Good
Other
card.
than that, it's just a good card.
Yeah.
It's going to be a staple that we're going to see moving forward.
Yeah. So 3 out of 5 on the Spysometer, dead in the middle, good card, sits where it needs to
no
sit.
idea what the actual scale of this is. Has any card gotten a 1?
Yeah, I think Galactic Ambition has a 1. Put it up right now. Can you put it up right here? What? 1. Cool. Moving on.
I'll decide if I do that later.
We
Alrighty.
had our community reveal. We got 2 cards from the community reveal, both synergize with each other, both really cool.
Oh yeah, community. Right. Yeah. Yep.
One of the creators on the community reveals. Honestly, actually, some of my favorite. I know I say this every episode, but this is not so good. Actually, some of my favorite artwork on one of these cards. We'll talk about General Taj first.
Yeah, your favorite art.
Definitely not my favorite art. I do actually like that art though. He's like, gosh darn it! You listen here, Vader.
It looks like he's about to press a big red button.
Well, I mean, with that effect. So he's a command villain. How uncommon! We don't see that often. We love command villain. FFG, please give us more command. We here at the Spy Squadron love green.
2 costs, by the way.
He's 2 cost. 2 cost 2/2. Good stat line. Imperial Official. Good keywords. I mentioned earlier when we were talking about 97th Legion that the Trooper keyword is important. This is why. When played, give an experience token each of up to 3 Trooper units. Now, you can't put 3 tokens on 1 unit, but you get 1 token on up to 3 Troopers. For 2.
Yeah.
For a 2/2.
Yep. So this card feels great playing it.
This could have been a 1/1, and it would have been amazing.
It would have been amazing. Yeah. The body is just an added bonus. But it's one of those interesting 2 costs that fall into the realm of not a turn 1 play.
No, definitely not. This is a turn 2 play, turn 3 play, ideally from my testing. This card's great, even if you just play it to put 1 counter on.
Yes.
This card's amazing if you play it to put 2 counters on. This card's bonkers if you're getting 3 troopers buffed up. And there's a lot of troopers. First Legion Snowtrooper Lieutenant. Callus is a trooper. 97th Legion is troopers.
Homestead Militia is a trooper.
Homestead Militia. Cell Block Guard. There's a lot of troopers, and my God, do they love getting experience counters. In fact, you'll probably see it this week when we play when I play Red Tarkin Troopers, or when James plays Red Tarkin Troopers. We haven't decided yet.
He's playing Red Tarkin Troopers.
I play Red Tarkin Troopers.
You sure are,
buddy? Yeah, no, I am. This is amazing, and I genuinely hope to see more cards, not specifically for Troopers, but in the realms of this much value.
All right, fine. I'll give you another Trooper card.
Oh, I get
Seasoned
another
Shore Trooper.
What? Hold on. I give Taj a 4 out of 5 on the Spiceometer.
Spiceometer.
But I get another Trooper, you're telling me?
I am telling you,
Can it be cheap and have a good body, James?
Or how about a 2-cost command villain 2/3?
I'd love that. Does it have a relevant effect?
Just a little bit.
Oh my god, today is Christmas.
Well, you have 6 or more resources. This unit gains +2/+0.
So a 2-cost, 2/3 Imperial Trooper, 2 really relevant keywords, one that synergizes with Taj and one that synergizes with Tarkin, the 2 big T's. And at 6 resources, it becomes a 4/3.
For 2.
4/2. And that's not like a when play, that's a passive.
Yep.
So that is, I play it on turn 1, and if it's alive, at turn 6, it's a 4/3.
Yep.
If I play it when I have 6 resources, it's a 4/3.
It is a very strong card, and it is very easily forgotten in it's only doing 2 damage to me, so I can kind of leave it alone, and then you hit 6, and you've put 2 experience counters on it from Tarkin, and suddenly it's a 6/5.
And why not? You've hit 6 resources. Why not why not play Taj, give it another, and then, 6 resources, experience counter it, overwhelming barrage. This is a great overwhelming barrage target.
It is a fantastic overwhelming barrage.
This is amazing. We talked about how 6 is a really good number to overwhelming barrage just before. This gets to 6 really easily on curve the way you want it to. This art, I really like this art. I think I'm big partial to tropical environments. I think it looks really nice. I don't know why, but I really like the colors on the Shore Trooper armor, and I like this card. I really like it.
I think they did a really good job with this card, just making it look pretty. I like the kind of tropical beach setting.
And they made it really good. This is
probably the top trooper in the trooper.
If you were to ask me, out of the troopers, which one is the best, it's Seasoned Shore Trooper, and then it's First Legion Snow Trooper. The Overwhelm's really good. It's conditional, but just having such a absolute body on a 2-cost.
Finally, both of them conditionally can get +2/+0.
Both of them can, and both of them can be buffed by Taj because they're troopers. So, I would give this guy 3.5 out of 5 on the Spiceometer because he's baseline just a really solid card. He's just good. Like, building command villain, chuck in your seasons Shore Troopers.
Alrighty. Moving on, we're going to be talking about a space unit.
Woohoo! Yeah, we are.
This is our first aggression hero space unit.
It is.
It is a 2-cost, which apparently Heroism loves its 2-cost space units.
Loves its 2-cost space units.
It is...
Green Squadron A-Wing.
Green Squadron A-Wing.
It's a green-red card.
It is a Rebel Vehicle Fighter. It is a 1/3 with Raid 2.
Oh my gosh. So it's essentially a 2-cost 3/3, and it's got one really nice keyword. What's the best? It's the best keyword in the game. Best keyword in the game, ladies and gentlemen. One deck I've always wanted, but I think I've mentioned it here once or twice, maybe. Red-green layer. This and Wedge are definitely the makings of a real potent... This is a 3/3. This is an on-attack 3/3. This is great. A turn 1 play like this is kind of like... If you're telling me I could get Consortium Star Viper out turn 1, I'd be like, what a good card.
No, it is a very good card. Obviously, and the aggression on it is shining through with that Raid 2.
Yeah, really getting in there.
It's a card that is very easily going to be very annoying. If someone plays this turn 1, you don't have a space unit to kind of match it, then you're just going to kind of be sitting there while it smacks you in the face.
I love this because I play it, and if my opponent removes it with an event, I feel good. If my opponent has to waste playing a space unit and swinging at it, I feel good. Like, either I swing at your base or you remove it. Either way, I'm having a great time. Like,
Yeah.
I think this is a good card. It really makes me excited to see what red green space or red green rush is going to look like, especially with Leia. Like, when she first came out, I was like, I'm so excited to build her aggro, and this is like really giving me that excitement. Again, simple, effective, good card. 3.5 out of 5 on the Spiceometer. Unfortunately, we've dwindled down to the end of our 10 very good cards.
Oh no!
Still a very good card.
So this is the Academy Defense Walker.
It's an Imperial vehicle walker. It is a ground vehicle. It's one of those scout walkers from Rebels. More specifically, this is the episode where Ezra infiltrates the Imperial Academy. I know my stuff. It is a 6-cost vigilance villain, 5/5. Good stats.
Yeah.
It's got a couple of other awesome abilities. Why don't you let the people know?
Well, we're just going to slap Sentinel on there because...
I love that. I love on a 5/5?
On a 5/5 body.
That's
Love
great.
to see it.
And that's all it does, right? It couldn't possibly get better.
When played, you may put an experience counter on each of your damaged units. As they said on stream, who could that be helping?
I wonder who... Oh, I believe his name rhymes with Schminnick. Director Schminnick. I love that guy. He's my favorite Star Wars character.
Yeah.
Each friendly unit... Wow, I have 3 space units that are damaged and 2 ground units that are damaged. Guess I'll just play this 6-cost 5/5 Sentinel. Whoa, they all got big? How'd that happen?
Yeah.
How'd that happen? Who knows?
Definitely going to be able to see this come into play. I'd love to see some more ability to damage your own units, like ping
Trooper
for
and
like
things
1
like that.
damage on things.
That'd be great.
Would be a really cool thing to have to kind of help him move along, because he's kind of the lower end of the kind of strength spectrum at the moment. But I think as every single one of these vigilance villain cards that have come up, which we've gotten 2 this week with the Dooku and him,
Both really good.
Yeah, both really helped.
The blue villain really needed a mid and late game play.
Yeah.
And both of those cards kind of fill that niche,
Yeah,
I think.
absolutely.
I like this because my units are already damaged and I don't want them to get worse. So I give them +1 health, and I have a Sentinel that has to get rid of before you can get rid of the other one. So like, you're really coming together with that Krennic game plan of, cool, they're all damaged, they get +1 from my leader. Play this card, now you have to attack this, and it's a 5/5, so it's not easy to get rid of. And now all of them are bigger. It's really, really awesome.
Yeah, I think this also really shows the difference between blue hero and blue villain really well.
does, yeah.
If this was a vigilance heroism card, it would say each of your damage units heal 1
Or heal 2. Something like that.
Whereas this says no, they're still damaged.
Yeah.
They're just bigger.
The Empire is just like, you're tired, you're fatigued. Well, that's not going to help the Emperor achieve his goals. So get on up there and hop in the walker and get out there and show him what you're made of. And I love it. I love how much character these cards have. I love what they do. I think all 10 of these reveals have been amazing. I give this card, I rate this card personally. I think it's really good. So I'll probably give it a 4 out of 5 on the Spiceometer, because I do think that this card may go overlooked. And I think that on paper, people might look at this and go, yeah, 6/5/5. This is good. Good cost at everything. On play, it's like a go wide board bump. If you gave me a 5/5 for 5 that said, when you play this unit, give all of your damage units an experience counter, or even just give them all experience counter, it would be one of the best units in the game. I definitely don't think this card should be overlooked. I think if you're playing against blue villain and they start going wide, do not think that you've got this on lockdown if you start dealing with it, because you don't. Because they drop this card down and then you've got a body to deal with, and then, all right, cool, you might I take it down. Great, you've definitely taken that down. The board just got bigger, and next turn they're dropping Dooku.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good card. All in all, I think all of the cards that were shown are really awesome. I'm
definitely.
really big fan, and every time a new card, I already loved where the game was at and where it was heading. Every time a new card gets shown, my excitement just goes up, and it gets.
And we got some absolutely fantastic cards. Bosk,
so good.
mission briefing.
Taj is awesome. Some really cool archetype support.
Yeah.
You build all your troopers, do it, man.
Wedge
Wedge for your
with
vehicles. Yeah, we got some cool cards for people who are big fans of the characters. Dooku, big fans of the lore for people like 97th Legion or Bright Hope. All in all, 10 great cards.
Yeah.
And they're all really powerful. So what would I use them in competitively?
This is true.
Yeah. We spent a lot of time talking about cards. There's not a lot of info to cover over what we're talking about, but this week's stream was Organised play, OP competitive play.
Yeah. So they went through the 4 different kind of tournaments that you're going to be seeing when you're in a competitive sense. So we already knew about the weekly play stuff. We knew about the store showdowns, which is kind of another...
Yeah, whenever they happen, kind of chill.
Once per set, little nice... But they aren't linked to kind of like the competitive scene.
So
the first one we're going to be talking about is the planetary qualifiers.
I think before that we talk about what that's going to give you, how to go up. There will be a point system.
Yeah. So if you do well in any of the competitive tournaments, you're going to be getting points
based on how well you did, how many people showed up.
Yeah.
You know what, like all that kind of
bigger
stuff.
the tournament, the more the points that you're going to get.
We don't know too much about it more than that, so I'm sure they'll go. There's a lot that with this stream they kind of told us the structure of things, which is great, and that once again they'll probably go more in depth individually into them in the future when we're closer to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if you get enough points, you will be able to attend the Galactic Championships,
which is essentially
the kind of
Worlds.
end goal Worlds.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
We definitely both want to attend when it's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. We look forward to talking to you guys, going to show our experience in all kinds of events and stuff like that. So
it'd be really fun to meet all of our, if it's in America, all of our American viewers. Hi guys. But we'll get on to a little bit more about Worlds before I got carried away. Planetary
so the planetary qualifiers will be what is kind of colloquially a store championship event, store champs. They're going to be in stores, one-day events with prize supports that are going to happen throughout the season, as they call it.
Yeah.
So if your locals is a big kind of draw, they're going to be getting a planetary qualifier that you're going to be able to go to. Expect this to be in pretty much...
they mentioned there's participation prizing and high level prizing. So, you know, even if you just show up, you're going to get stuff, which I love. And like they do that, they're going to do that for weekly play and stuff. But it's always good to know that I think all of those events have participation prizing.
Yes, every single event has participation prizing,
which is awesome. You just get to go and you know you're going to get good stuff. I mean, when we went to Star Wars Destiny Nats back when we played, we got like tokens and sleeves, and there was some deck boxes and mats, and that was just handed out to us.
Yeah,
like when you like just the and the base stuff was like get a couple Altar promos, get some really nice tokens, obviously get a lot of booster packs and everything like that. Then you get to access side events and things which are also confirmed to be there.
Or not at the planetary qualifiers.
Just at the bigger events. But planetary qualifiers are going to be like they're going to take up one day. You go in, you play kind of like a bigger store style event. Better you do, more points you get to head to Worlds.
The next level of event that we're going to talk about is the sector qualifiers. These are going to be the kind of bigger events that are going to be happening a lot less often. This will be kind of at the same level as kind of like a regional event
Yeah,
in
it's
the
like a
other card games.
big 2-day event with the first day being Swiss and the second day being top cut Swiss. Both days there'll be side events running, which is really fun. I know for a few people who are observant at Spiel, they mentioned a multiplayer format, and they've actually fully confirmed that. We'll hear more details about that, but it'd be cool to see a side event like that. We know the
absolutely.
game's designed
really excited to hear more about that multiplayer format
that'd
and
be
how it's
really
going to be
cool.
working.
I'm super excited. I love multiplayer games. Like Commander's really fun, so it'd be good to play Commander with this. That'd be so awesome. I'd love that. Draft. This game's made for draft, so having draft.
Something that's really
side
interesting
events,
that I noticed on the multiplayer thing. They said that it would have a unique deck construction.
I did see that. I'm very, very excited to see how that goes.
So it's going to be. It's not going to be the same way that you build the regular
deck for
deck.
constructed. Very exciting. Very, very cool. I think a really cool way to play, and it'll always be nice because multiplayer format's going to be fun to kind of duke it out with all our favorite characters, just in a more casual setting. But side events, we could be looking at draft. That's going to be so fun. I love draft. This game's designed for it, so it's going to be super fun. Obviously, competitive's going to be really good. Maybe see some multiplayer going on there. See some teams events going on, stuff like that. But that one's going to be a big 2-day event. That's going to be like your larger kind of everyone in your city rocks up and comes to play. They're awesome. I love
and even interstate people are going to
people come from interstate. I know that we went to a couple of interstate regional events.
Down to Melbourne for regional events.
Yeah, we went to Adelaide for some regional events too, so that was fun for Dragon Ball, and definitely looking forward to doing that for this. I get to see everyone in Australia. Hi guys. And then above that we have the regional qualifiers. So not regionals. This is more akin to what you may be familiar with in terms of your nationals.
Yeah, so this is kind of this will be the big ones.
Like huge.
So they're going to be the big 2-day events. There's going to be a lot of people.
Like all over the country.
Like there's going to be a lot of things where it's like day 1 is Swiss, day 2 is the end of Swiss, and then these are the big ones. They're going to be massive prize support. There's going to be side events up the wazoo. You're going to be able to do everything. Even if you're not playing in the main event, you're going to have stuff to do the entire time.
We've done this, and it was definitely a rough meta when we decided to go in, and we did pretty well, but I do feel like we kind of scrubbed out a little bit. Scrubbed out early and played side events for that weekend. And man, was it fun to watch our friends who were playing high-level competitive just get real bogged down. Well, we were just having the best time. You had a double dice mace window.
I did.
We were just dancing in the corner while they were like, oh, not Thrawn Unkar, not baby Vader.
Yeah, but it's one of those cases where it sucks to go to a big event and scrub out and just and lose the first few matches, and with all these side events, it just makes you be able to, if you're, especially, this is the event where you're traveling to, traveling somewhere
Melbourne, Sydney, you're going places for this event.
So you're taking your whole weekend off, maybe even Monday.
Even more than that. I know we did. We took like a whole week off from when we went to Melbourne, and we just kind of explored Melbourne for a little bit, played for 2. It's great.
And so, it sucks to go there and then scrub out of the event, but all these side events make it worth it. You can then join.
So fun.
You do it. You're playing the game all weekend, no matter what.
And they it's not like there's one side event per day. It'll be like cool. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. draft event. But also there'll be 2 draft events running in a lot of cases, and then there'll also be probably another event running at the same time.
There's a multiplayer event running over here.
And then they just kind of do that. So you might get ones where it's like 12 to 11 is the first set of draft events, and there's 3 of them running at the same time.
Yeah.
And then they'll just have 9 draft events the whole day. And then the other times there'll be a multiplayer event and a 2v2, and then just another smaller event to win this specific legendary, and it's great.
Yeah, and you'll see stuff like, here is the Spark of Rebellion draft, and here is the Shadows of the Empire draft,
and it'll be it's all that very specific. It's so fun, and honestly, I love it. I love playing the competitive side. Don't get me wrong, but it really softens the blow when you get knocked out, because It's happened to us. It'll probably happen to you guys too. No matter how good of a player you are, you've definitely scrubbed out once or twice. You've been knocked out of a tournament and it's felt rough. And that's fine. It's meant to feel rough. We can't always win them all. But man, does it feel good when my cushion is draft.
Yeah.
I get to land back in a crack packs with our 97th Legion. Don't mind if I do.
But there is the step above, the Galactic Championships. Now, this is what is Worlds. This is probably going to be in America.
This is going to be a ridiculously large event considering this game is worldwide.
Yes, and it's going to be... I plan on going to Worlds.
I plan on going. How could we not?
This is going to be a 3-day event.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be a 3-day event.
Can't wait to take a holiday.
Swiss.
Like
the cheese.
Swiss. Side events going on.
Obviously, we don't know any of the prize support of other this, but from what we know, like from Destiny days, we know Fantasy Flight does do very good prize support.
They're really good with their prize
So
support.
expect some fantastic things.
And expect
the prize support for these. We're talking mats. We're talking promo cards. We're talking
tokens, alt arts, like high level good stuff.
And that's just for showing up.
Yeah.
So the first Galactic Championship is going to be happening in 2025.
Mid-year.
They said around the summer of 2025. It is not going to be an invitational. It is going to be a free.
Everyone rock up.
Not free to enter, but it is going to. You can.
Everyone has an invitation. So usually, what you would do is with those points, you would rack up your points so that you would qualify for an invitation to get there. This time, everyone's got their invitation. The first one, it's Star Wars Unlimited. They want everyone to come. And one of the side events there will be to win your invitation.
Yeah, it'll be a regional qualifier
at the World
for the next season.
For 2026.
Which I think is a really cool idea.
That's cool. That's a great idea. Like, I scrub out of this one. Darn it. I get my second chance. Like that, just as they said in the stream, what if, bad luck, you drew really badly, you were just having a rough time of it. And then you get to go on your event. Imagine how good it would feel to win that.
Yeah. And then get your ticket to next World stamped and ready to go.
So good. That would make my day. And then even if you don't win that one, well, you know what? I had fun. I got to play in 2 really big tournament events. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and just play draft all day.
Yep.
Just jam draft all day. How could I not? And we know that a lot of the devs are going to be there. I'm pretty sure Josh said he was going to be there. Just actually the previous host of the now it's Xander. What
and
up?
You assume Worlds, all of the staff are going to be there running stuff,
even
doing
the designers,
stuff.
And it'll be really cool to just, meet everyone in person. Worlds are fun. We'll get to meet all of you. You'll get to meet all of us. We'll get to meet people we've never met, and who have never met us. They might not even know we exist, and it's just fun to surround yourself with people who love the game like you love the game for 3 days, and you just get to play it. You get to live, breathe it, and it's so fun.
You go home and you play another game in your hotel room because you just can't get enough of it.
It's true. You'll be playing, and then you'll finish your day up, and then you'll get home, and you'll just sit down after your day of cards, and you go, what do we do? And it's like, well, of course we'll go get some KFC, and then we'll play some more games. What else are we meant to do?
Now, we are almost out of time, but we do have a couple of things that were revealed during the thing, just from questions.
Quick dot points.
Yeah. One of the things is best of 3 is confirmed.
Big competitive events.
So all the competitive events, they said they want to do best of 3 as much as they can. So the assumption of that is kind of... Top card is always probably going to be best of 3.
Yeah.
Swiss might be best of 3 in the bigger events, but obviously...
This game can go pretty quickly, so I can see it being best of 3 in the thing, but again, we won't find out more information. For those of you who are playing in best of 3, it's good. I like best of 3. I think it's good because you lose your first one, you might have lost it just to bad luck. You get another chance to go, another 2
absolutely.
maybe. So one thing that goes hand in hand with best of 3, sideboards.
Yeah.
With a game that has 252 cards in the first set, and then by the time we go into Galactic Championships, we'll have 4 sets in total.
3 or 4 sets, yeah.
3 or 4 sets in total. A sideboard's probably going to be a necessity because you'll need to be able to swap out for... If we keep getting 16 liters a set, man, there will need to be a sideboard to be able to compensate for all of those different deck archetypes.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
know some people are a bit against sideboards and everything like that. I think that it's good to have a game that's designed varied. I think a sideboard is fine because it allows players to be able to help their deck out a little bit if it's tight for space. If you like to put cards in your deck and just build with counters inclusive, do that, but I don't think you should knock people for liking a sideboard.
Yeah.
I honestly really don't care. I've definitely built sideboards for games and never used them because I've forgotten I have them, and that's what happens most of the time.
Yeah, I think we've already seen cards that
are good sideboard
sideboard options. Yeah. The big one that sticks out to me is disabling Fang Fighter.
Getting rid of those upgrades.
If you run up against with no upgrades, then you're like, well, I don't need this card. I'd rather run Consortium Star Viper instead, run that 3/3 body instead of the 3/2. Assuming you're running green-red.
You could, run 2 Vanquish main deck, have a 3rd in your sideboard for just in case you come up against those go tall grindier matchups where you need it. It's that kind of stuff where it's break glass in case of emergency, and if you're like me, it never really comes up because you built your deck, you put cards that counter other cards in it, and then you build a sideboard and you forget it even exists because that's just the way you roll.
Or you actually like to win events and you pay more attention to your sideboard.
True.
And it is actually a key skill of deck building to know your sideboard and what matchups you do bring cards in for.
It's easy to say, yeah, just put those cards in your deck. Sometimes it's not possible. I do feel that, yeah, you can include counters, and I agree with that. You definitely should run main deck counters, not just in your sideboard, because if you don't run main deck counters and purely have them in your sideboard, it's kind of like, and you'll need to run them for locals, which is probably going to be best of 1. It's good to always run counters in your deck, but sometimes there are specific archetypes like Mill and things like that, where if there's a card that comes out that's like, put cards from your discard pile back into your deck, I'm not going to main deck that, but if I come up against Mill, it might be a card worth running. It's kind of like that. So I think if you're against sideboards, fair enough. If you like sideboards, again, fair enough, but just don't knock people for liking it. You don't have to have a sideboard if you don't want to. I think that it's a fine skill to have. I think it's a fine extension of deck building. I sideboard and I forget about it.
But thank you guys very much for watching. That is kind of all we have to talk about. The only thing that I kind of have to say left is the only real way to get to 2026 Worlds is by winning 2025 Worlds.
Or the side event.
Nope.
By winning 2025.
So that's going to be me. I'm going to be the winner of the first ever Galactic Championship.
For the rest of you, I'll see you on days 2 and 3 at the draft table. Oh boy! But,
Bye.
Bye.